Hey, what's going on, guys? We have a channel message here for you guys today. So the message here is simply that when it comes to, hey, how do I know what to do next? What should I do? What's going on? What's happening? What's happening right now? Oh my God, all these things are happening in my life. What do I do? Well, here's the thing. Look, your thoughts may tell you one thing, and your feelings may tell you another. Always go with the feeling, not the thought. Go with the feeling, not the thought, every time. And if you can't interpret or know which one is which, then you need to raise your vibration. Because what happens is, if we create this problem, I feel like a church man right now in this shirt, like a little church man or some shit. Here's the thing, right? If you were having a quote unquote situation, we're going to use the word situation because I believe that problems don't exist. That's just a perspective. So it does exist from one perspective, but from this perspective, I'm choosing to experience no problem, just a situation. So when there's a situation that arises in your life, I need to get some better lighting. That's all good. I already got better lighting. That's all good. I already have it. Okay. And by the way, on that topic, never realize this. Okay, realize this. Raise your vibration above the situation, so you see the solution, and then realize that the situation. It's like, okay, let's use the words problem and solution, right? The problem never, once you raise your vibration to the level of the solution, you realize that the problem never existed. It did exist, but it doesn't exist from this vibration. So all you have to do is like raise your vibration, and then your vibration is automatically in alignment with the solution, whatever that may be. You don't even have to know what it is. Isn't that crazy? Your vibration created the situation, and then you raise your vibration, that automatically will then create a new situation, because you look at it like this, okay? This vibration in this situation are a match, and that's why that this situation is physically there, because it matches the vibration. You see what I'm saying? So what happens is, this is a parallel reality. It's a parallel universe. When this vibration is also another reality, it's also another universe. So what happens is, when you shift your vibration and decide what your core vibration is, then what happens is the physical universe, which is materializing, it's coming to you. What we think is, in time, we think that we are moving towards our future, but actually we never move. We're always within. And what happens is our future moves towards us. And we think that we move towards our future, but our future actually gravitates and magnetically pulls towards us based on our vibration. Okay? I love you. Thank you. You're great. You're amazing. Thank you for that. Thanks. Wow. Wow, isn't that awesome? Isn't that great? Wow. Isn't that awesome? Wow. So the next time that a situation arises, quote unquote a problem, right? What are you going to do? Realize this, okay? The reason why you even can perceive that there even is a problem is because your vibration created it, okay? See what I'm saying? The problem, quote unquote, lives in the vibration of the level of thinking that created it, okay? And when you change your vibration, that changes your level of thinking, which then can see that that problem was only a vibration. It wasn't an actual physical situation, but the physical situation was created by the vibration. So what's happening is your vibration is always creating something. It's always creating something every time. And you will get whatever your dominant vibration is. You will get, and what is your vibration? What is your dominant vibration? Well, that's a combination of what you think repeatedly. It's a combination of what you feel repeatedly, and it's a combination of what you do repeatedly. That ingrains into your DNA. Your DNA then is programmed to a specific vibration. And this is why the privileged elite class, why they stay in power. It's because their DNA is programmed to a certain vibration. And why is their DNA programmed to a certain vibration? Because they have the specific information that keeps their DNA programmed with that information, which includes their thoughts, their feelings, and actions. They know how to think, they know how to feel, and they know what to do. Okay? Which has then created their DNA vibration to be a certain level. And what happens is, when they have children, what happens? they pass down those thoughts, feelings, and attitudes and beliefs and actions onto them. Therefore, their DNA is programmed to this higher vibrational level, which is why they're able to create and manifest whatever reality they choose. Okay, so if you weren't born into a privileged elite class, then you have some learning to do, right? As did Jordan, okay? And the whole idea is their vibration is on a level that creates the reality that they prefer. Whereas the elite societies, and really whatever you believe, the sixth-dimensional beings that have been governing this planet and governing the systems of the education system, the religion, the governments, the health, the foods, the air, the media, the transportation, the housing, the fuel, right? That, whatever that is, whatever you believe it is, okay? Now, they've been controlling the systems, and one of the systems was education. Therefore, they had complete control of what entered your mind. And guess what other system they controlled? The media. So they have complete control of what enters your mind. Not complete control, because you have free will over them, and you have power over them, as far as you have control and decision, if you're aware of this, to choose what you allowed into your mind. Do you see what I'm saying? You can choose what you allowed into your mind. But you didn't know that growing up. So you were brainwashed with religions, with the education system, with the 9 to 5, with the go to college, with the get your shots. All of that was programmed and brainwashed. You know how programming works? Do you know how programming works? Well, in your first 7 years of life, your brainwave state is in theta waves. And that is when your brain, scientifically proven, is very susceptible to information, meaning that it goes straight into the subconscious mind where a program and a paradigm is created. And what does that mean? That means you accept it automatically. You have no ability, you have no intellect to reject that idea. You just automatically take it in. Well, this is what my parents are telling me, so it must be true. Oh, well, this is my Sunday school teacher at church is telling me, so it must be true. Oh, well, this is what the president says, so it must be true. Oh, well, this is what the people on the news say, so it must be true. Oh, well, this is what the doctor says, so it must be true. You see what I'm saying? You get all of that brainwashing your first 7 years, so your program is already set. Your default DNA vibration is already set based on your environment growing up. But the thing is, the mass majority of people have very similar programming. Why? Because they're all watching the same TV shows, the same movies. And, let's get into Disney right now, right? Disney brainwashing children. And I'm not going to talk too much on it because there's only certain words you can say on these damn fucking platforms. But the subliminal programming, you know how they program? You know how they program you? Hypnosis and subliminal programming. They hide little key and cues that your brain then picks up without you even knowing it, okay? They control the housing, they control the transportation, they control the communication, they control the water, they control the drugs. And let's not even get into DNA manipulation, which is happening with the VACs. Let's not even get into it. But the whole idea is, the only reason why you may believe them now, or that you have believed them most of your life, is because that's what you believed from the beginning. When you were born here, here's the thing. When you came onto this planet, you knew you were going to forget who you are. You knew you were going to get programmed, and you were going to have to go through this process of unweaving this karma so that you could then remember who you are. Okay? Which is great. It's an amazing experience. You get to realize a lot of things. You get to learn, and you get to learn about your human, I love my human. My human's great. My human's amazing. He has some things he's going through just like everyone else. Right? And isn't that great? Isn't that awesome? Wow, I love that. I do. I love that. That's great. Wow, isn't that great? Wow, I think that's amazing. And I was just on the walk today. I was just on a walk earlier today. And, when I took over this body, I said, you know what? What happened was I realized that there's different codes. I actually saw this TikTok earlier today. My brain is definitely in super conscious right now, by the way. It's definitely in gamma right now. when I was Earlier today, I was on TikTok, okay, and I saw this video. I saw this video. This guy. Oh God, what was it? Oh shit. Okay, TikTok. I saw this video on TikTok, and this guy, what he said was he was talking about Rockefeller. He was talking about Rockefeller, and what he did was he had said that basically how Rockefeller he had quote unquote knew nothing about health and wellness, but what he did was he created a media system. Like, oh bro, just think about this, what happened with Rockefeller. Just think about what happened with Rockefeller, right? Everyone was doing natural healthcare. Everyone was doing it. Everyone was doing natural healthcare. You see what I'm saying? Then when radio came out, when advertisement came out for the first time, since he had all the money, he created that system. You see what I'm saying? And then he knew that people were watching that. That was the only thing they had to watch. That was the only thing they had to listen to. So what did they do with not knowing any better? They automatically believed it because they had never seen anything else before. Like, oh my God. And the way he advertised it, they know how to quote unquote trick you, or basically, like I said, it's hypnosis through subconscious programming, through repetition, right? When you hear the same message every week, every day, and it's not only every week, every day, but when you hear the same message at the same times, 11:11, right? When you hear it in the morning, what do? There's a morning show. There's a morning show, the Today Show, right? There's a late night show. You see what I'm saying? You guys notice that? There's a morning show and a late night show. Do you guys know why there's a morning show and a late night show? And remember, this isn't even Jordan saying this. You know why there's a morning show and a late night show? Because that is when the subconscious mind that is when the mind is in theta waves, which is when your subconscious mind is programmed. Isn't that interesting? And guess what? Rockefeller created the media and then sold his it's like, think about like Russell Brunson, for example. Russell Brunson is like Russell Brunson, he created ClickFunnels, and then he sold things on his ClickFunnels. You see what I'm saying? And that was for the good, in my opinion. Now, with Rockefeller, was that for the good? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Do your own research. I'm not going to tell you what to believe. Go look up What the Health, and that's just one source of information. So if you have something else, let me know. But I did see What the Health, and I did see what I saw on there as far as the American Heart Association, the American Cancer Association, the American Drug Association, and what about those associations? What about them? Well, the thing is about those associations is, I don't want to be too specific on who it is, because that's not what I'm aiming at here. But it is, I'm just going to be vague and broad here, because I don't want to name specifics. There's only certain words I can use. So whomever, the people, you can say the Rockefeller organization, whether it's his family, whether it's probably his family, I'm guessing. I don't know. I got to do more research on this. His Rockefeller, right? Whoever's owning or maybe it's not that. Maybe it's actually the, let's see, it's financial tyranny. That's what's coming up here. What else? It's, oh yeah, the Federal Reserve. Is it the Federal Reserve or no? Anyway, let's just say big bank corporations. Let's just leave it at that. Now, what I saw on Thrive was that, and I like to quote my sources, so if you don't believe me or you don't know if for sure what I'm saying may be true, well, realize that all truths are true, so it just depends on if you want to believe it or not. But I'm giving you my sources so you can do research for yourself. Thrive. Okay, what they said was pretty much is like, there are the banking systems, and then above the banking systems, there's the Federal Reserve, or there's elite circles, and then above them is the Federal Reserve, and above the Federal Reserve, there is this entity, right? What do you call that? Whatever you want to call that, right? Or whatever. And whole idea is they paid off, just as Rockefeller paid off the media companies, or maybe he created the media companies. I'm not sure what the video said. It was one or the other. Just imagine that you have enough money. Oh my God, not only did he do that, he paid off colleges and universities. He gave them grants of, what was it, tens of millions or probably hundreds of millions of dollars, or billions maybe. It was hundreds of millions, or it was a lot of money. He paid them that much money he controlled what was put into the education system. You know that. Did you know that? Did you know that the education system isn't truth, but did you know that it was paid off to be presented a certain way, which then made everyone believe it, which then became a self-fulfilling prophecy in everyone's reality, which then made the collective reality, the exact reality that whoever created this whole thing, how they wanted it to be. So that's one perspective. Is it good or bad? I don't know. Maybe it was just part of this evolution process that humanity had to experience for them to wake up and realize that we are actually consciousness. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Now, with that being said, what else was it? It was with the media. It was with the media. Morning and night, media morning and night, Rockefeller. It was Rockefeller. It was with health. And, oh yeah, with the drugs. With the drugs and with the health. They paid off American Heart Association, American Cancer Association, and American Drug Association. They paid them off to advertise the very products that actually created those diseases. Now this is messed up, and this should be so obvious. Like, for example, on the American Heart Association, beef is known to create heart disease when you have excess amount of red meat and something like that. And the American Heart Association, what they said was they had a meal plan for you for a healthy heart, and they included beef in there. You think they would add like maybe some vegetables or maybe some fruits or something? Did you know that this earth was created, and this earth was created, the intelligence that created this planet was so smart that all of the medicines are pre-made in the food? All of the medicines are pre-made in the food. Did you know that? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting how that works? Have you ever read the book Natural Cures by Kevin Trudeau? Have you ever read it? Me either, but I'm about to read it. I'm at this state of, when it comes to natural cures, I'm at this place of conscious incompetence where I'm aware that I don't know and I'm looking to learn. I know there's something about it, and probably a lot of you are in that same place. You're like, you know what? I've heard some of the things similar to what you're saying right now, and you know what? I think I'm going to do some more research. That's called conscious incompetence. And I have been receiving messages recently to put a little bit more focus on health, put a little bit more focus on relationships, balance out where my focus is. And another message I have for you guys today is now that one's just for me. Matter of fact. What was it? Okay, Rockefeller. Dude, that's the message for today. Dude, like that's it, right? Like, it's interesting. It's interesting how that works, right? So the whole idea is these systems were created, this entire system that's been created for us completely ran by financial tyranny. Completely ran. All the systems are the way they are because these same families own every system. It's like 11 families. The same 11 families own every system. Now, according to other sources, there's actually a level above those families, which is then, like I said, those 6-dimensional beings. Now, that's too far out there for most people. Understandable, because you never heard about that growing up. So if you didn't hear about it growing up, it can't be true, right? If you didn't hear about it in school, it can't be true, right? Oh, they didn't tell you that in Sunday school? Oh, it must not be true. Well, that's where, dare I say the word wrong. Because from a multidimensional perspective, everything exists. Non-existence doesn't exist. Every time you think, you create a parallel universe. Now, that's probably too far out there for most people. Understandable. Because you didn't learn about that as a kid. But guess what? The forces that have been controlling this planet, they know all that stuff. They know how that works. And they on purpose kept that information from you so that they could control you and manipulate you into doing what they wanted you to do. Isn't that something? Isn't that interesting how that works? Well, now that the people are becoming aware of it, I want to introduce you guys a story that I heard from a great man named Kevin Trudeau. Wow, this is a great story, guys. I can't wait to tell you this story. This story is called the 100th Monkey Syndrome, okay? And this is how this world is changing so quickly. The reason why the world is changing so quickly, I'm going to explain it to you right here. It's because that this physical world is actually an illusion. It's a holographic reality, and it's actually, like you could say, a virtual reality or a video game. And the way it works is Source created everything, and everything that exists is part of Source. So what that means is like, you know how we think the terms of God, right? God is the creator. And one perspective is we are cells in God's body, okay? And let's say the earth might be the toenail of God's body. You see what I'm saying? And we are the cells within the toenail, within the foot, within the galaxy might be the foot, and then the solar system might be the foot, and then the galaxy might be the leg, even though there's way more galaxies than that, for that to even make sense. Like, it's actually way more than that. It's ever expanding. You see what I'm saying? Source is ever expanding. It's ever expanding universe. It's an ever expanding world. It's an ever expanding planet. It's an ever expanding human beings. And human consciousness is expanding on this planet. And the human beings are shifting from the third dimension to the fourth dimension on a collective level. Now, with that being said, individually you can experience 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, 9, 10, 11, 12, or whatever. Now, with that being said, the way the 100th Monkey Syndrome works is, I'm going to tell you a little story. There were some researchers on an island where monkeys lived. And they did an experiment. And they wanted to see how the group of monkeys on one island affected the group of monkeys on the other island. Now listen to this. This is going to get real interesting. The researcher grabbed a sweet potato. He dipped it in the river, and he ate it. And you remember the phrase, monkey see, monkey do? Well, monkey see, monkey do. So the man did that every day for X amount of days. And after the monkeys, I'm not sure if it was one monkey, I think it was one monkey. One monkey saw him do it, or maybe it was a couple monkeys. They started to see him do it. And you know how it is. One of them does it, and then two of them does it, and then three of them does it. It's how every trend works. This is how trends work. Now, what happens is the monkey saw him do it so many times that he started to do it himself. And this is exactly how raising your vibration works. When someone raises their vibration, other people see them raise their vibration, and they're like, wow, that person feels good, looks good, smells good, tastes good. That person's vibing right now. I want to feel like that. Why do you want to feel good? Because that's who you naturally are. You're naturally love, peace, joy, and alignment. You're Source. You are Source. Within Source, you have your own soul signature, and within your soul signature, you have different incarnations and different realities. But you're experiencing this one. You're aware of this one. You're in a dream right now, experiencing this physical reality. And it seems so real that they tricked us in believing it's real. And that it's strict, and there's rules, and there's well, guess what, guys? The rules in physical reality are the way that they are because there's a collective agreement on what the rules are on this earth. And that is it. So once enough people, and I'll finish the story here, and this will make more sense. Once enough people believe a certain thing or vibrate at a certain level, then there's a spillover effect that happens. And this is how it happened with the monkey story. Now remember, there's a researcher on one island with a bunch of monkeys. There's another researcher on another island with a bunch of monkeys. 2 different islands, okay? There's multiple islands, matter of fact, 3, 4, 5 islands. And after the researcher dumped the sweet potato in the water and ate it, after that 4, 5, 6 days, guess what? The monkeys started to do that as well. And then after 3, 4, 5 monkeys did it, then 10 did it, and then 20 did it, and then 50, and then 100, whatever the number is. We don't know the exact number. Ralph Smart says it's 70 million for the human race, but let's just say on this island, it was 100 monkeys. And once 100 monkeys had started eating the potatoes, what happened is not only did every monkey on that island start eating sweet potatoes in that water, but all the monkeys on all of the other islands that had never been introduced to that idea just suddenly started doing the same thing. And this is how we shift the vibration of the collective consciousness on this planet. It's called the 100th monkey syndrome, the spillover effect. According to Ralph Smart, it's 70 million people. Now, this is what I've been noticing over this last year. Now, when it comes to the individual spiritual awakening, what happens is, before you can truly experience that light, you get hit with a dark night of the soul. And why is that? It's because, number one, there's a contrast in life. And for every inch of darkness, there's that same inch of light. And what that's called is called the rubber band. So the further you dive yourself into your own darkness, your own fears, your own traumas, your own pain, the farther you're willing to go in there and face that shit, you have the exact opposite power of light on the other side. Okay? And the thing is, most people are afraid of their light. Most people are afraid of their light. Even Jordan, from time to time. Yep. And it happens with virtually all humans, that they're afraid of their light. And what that means is, I'm gonna head over here to the Hawkins scale. Now, I'm not sure if you can see this. You are naturally joy, peace, love, and enlightenment. Like I said, because you are source. But what happens is, you attach yourself to these emotions that are lower than love. Okay? You are love. But you and the human, depending on your perspective of that whole equation, you are the human, but you're also observing the human. So technically you're both. It's both. It's always both. I'm pretty sure it's always both. This isn't a this or that universe. It's a this and this universe, because in the eyes of Source, all perspectives are true. All perspectives are true, right? So what happens is, there is a past event that triggers an emotional response to that past event, and that emotional response anchors in a belief. Okay? That emotional response anchors in a belief, and that belief becomes a program, and it gets trapped in your body of, I'm not worthy. Well, I can't be successful because X, Y, Z. Or rich people will go to hell. Or rich people sold their soul. And these are the ones that were for Jordan. Okay? Now, and these are just beliefs. But those beliefs get stuck in the body, and it shows up in your reality in the form of resistance. Resistance lies in emotions trapped in the body. So you must let go of these emotions. So that then you can become the light that you really are. Okay? Now, this is like the Statue of David story. This is one that this is a good story, okay? The Statue of David story. Basically, this man was given a big slab of rock. Okay? They said, how did you, basically the man who carved out the Statue of David, they said, how did you carve this Statue of David? He said, easy. I didn't carve out the Statue of David. I just chipped away everything that wasn't David. Right? And that's exactly what we're doing with you. You have emotions. We all have emotions that are trapped in the body. And we all have different layers of resistance. And there's always more layers. Just layers. Karmic energy, vibrations. And since it's in your field, that allows it to come up. Okay? Now, collective consciousness. If it's in your field, then that means you still resonate with it. And this is how, when people trigger you, right? Have you ever noticed when someone triggers you and they're like, wow, that person pissed me off? Well, the thing is, they didn't piss you off. They were just being themselves. But what happened is, you have a filter in your own mind of how basically, let me give you an example. Someone came up to you and said, okay, let me just give you an example, like with sports, because this is what relates to me. This is how I can make sense of it. Now, when I was growing up, I was a Cardinals fan, and a baseball fan, Cardinals fan, and their rival was the Cubs. So what I did was I had this filter in my mind that I didn't like the Cubs. So when someone else said, "Hey, boo Cardinals, I'm a Cubs fan," I would have this trigger that said, "I don't like this person." It's not that I didn't like that person. I just didn't like the Cubs, but I had this filter of Cubs when I viewed that person. But then I got over that, and I was like, I love everyone. I love every team. You know what I mean? But that's fine. But that's just an example. So what happens is that person didn't trigger you. They're triggering an emotion that's trapped in your body, and that emotion is attached to a belief that was anchored in during an emotional response that you had during a past event. Wow, that was well put right there. I don't even know if I could say that again. I have no idea what I just said. But so when you chip in, when you chip away at everything that's not David, you're left with David. So when you chip away of you, everything that's not you, which is your fear, your shame, your guilt, your desire, your all of those emotions that are trapped in your body, yeah, all of that. There's so much in there. There's always more layers. Here's what I'm saying. The more you chip away, the closer you get to David, which is who you really are, which is pure light. You are a pure light being. Everything else is just a belief. It's just an emotion. When you chip away at those emotions and those beliefs, then you release everything that's not David, okay? And then you become who you really are, your true self. You become your higher self in physical form, right? Wow. All right. This was fun. Wow. Let me see here. Well, now, let me get these headphones back on. I love this. This is great. So, all right, guys. That's it. That's all for the message. If you want to follow Jordan on Instagram or on TikTok, it's Infinite Abundance 777, 3 sevens, and Telegram at Infinite Abundance, or t.me/Infinite Abundance. Jordan's also working on a one-on-one coaching program that he'll be launching soon. And he's also working on a group coaching program that he'll be launching soon. So if you'd like to get access to any of those programs, then you can send a message. Or you can book a call below. We'd love to help you out. We're doing right now, and I'll just give you a little bit more information on that. We are doing, because I've been really working on, guys, honestly, of like, I want to offer something, but I haven't known what to offer yet. And I really had to do that work. Here, now I'm talking to Jordan. I really had to do that work because I had so much around me, that marble, that marble around David. I had so much shit I had to chip away. I had all these beliefs, and I was trying to be someone that I didn't need to be, that wasn't really me. And I felt like I had all these expectations placed on me, and I really had to do some work on myself. And I had to go within and realize that I found out a lot of information. Like, these expectations I had on me were from my childhood. They were literally from specific events that triggered specific emotional responses that were then trapped in the body in the form of resistance. And I didn't want to face it. I was running away from it. I was like, no, I just want to be love and light. I don't want to face that shit. I just want to create. I don't want to heal. Well, guess what? You're going to have to heal, guys. In this spiritual awakening process, not only are you going to be able to create, but you're going to have to heal too. You're going to have to go into that dark, pull back that rubber band, go in there, bro. Like, sometimes you just got to go in there, bro. Like, just go in there, bro. Like, fuck it, just go in there. Like, because this is what you got to realize. These two words. Resistance creates persistence, and feeling creates healing. Resistance creates persistence, and feeling creates healing. Okay? So what I'm going to be offering, essentially, and I don't have all the details yet as of right now, this moment, but I do want to let you know about it just so you kind of get your thought process going. If this is something that you'd like to do, is I'll be kind of making a program that's going to help you go step by step from basically how to actually do that. Like, how do you heal? How do I let go of these emotions that are in my body. Because I believe that the collective consciousness on this planet, for us to create a new physical reality, we must raise the vibration of the collective. And for us to raise the vibration of the collective, we must raise the vibration of the individual. And that's what I want to help you do. Because that's what I've been working on, is raising my own vibration. And I've had so many demons and fears, and I'm still going through them, and I'm still facing them, and I'm still learning through it. I mean, this is just the beginning, but that's what I've been doing, and it's given me this new level of clarity, of freedom, of peace within myself, regardless of what my situation is. And I said, you know what? I want to help people feel the same way, because I feel amazing. I feel amazing. So what is it going to be? You're going to learn how to heal. You're going to learn how to go within and find out these patterns and let go of these emotions that are no longer you, so that you can raise your vibration up into essentially who you really are, or you can chop away at everything that's not David. And that's what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to put it on a silver platter for you. And what I mean by silver platter is this. Look, now everyone that's reaching out to me for this program, everyone that's reaching out to me for this one-on-one, or this group program, or whatever it is I offer, whatever it is, doesn't matter. They're asking for some food. They want to eat, right? They want to eat. And it's like, think about it like this. You're in your home right now, or within your own space. You're within your heart. You're within your mind. You're within your soul. Okay? You're within all of that. And I'm knocking on your door. I'm saying, hey, I'm here. I'm here, bitch. I got the food you asked for. I'm like a goddamn pizza delivery driver, man. You asked for a pepperoni pizza, I'm there, bitch. Like you asked for a cheese pizza, I'm there, motherfucker. I'm there at your doorstep. Okay? I'm there at your doorstep. But let me ask you this. When you call my number, when you message me, are you going to be ready for that food? Because most people want to eat, but do they have the plates prepared? Do they have the dining room table set? Do they have the tablecloth down? If that's you, if you're ready for something like this, send me a message, man. Send me a message, man. I'm actually only looking for 15 people right now. I can't really do more than 15 one-on-one people. I think 15 is almost pushing it. I might bring that down to 10. So I do have a lot of people hitting me up for this. I do foresee a lot of people hitting me up for this. So I would definitely, if this is something you want to do, definitely make sure you get in as soon as possible. Make sure you get in as soon as possible, because spots are going to fill up quickly, like probably within the next few days, maybe a week at the most. You probably have like less than a week to really get into this. Probably like 3 days, honestly. You probably literally have like 3 days to get into this, because it's going to fill up. It's just going to fill up quick. 3 days max. And then if you say, hey, I don't have the money for the one-on-ones, or maybe it's not the right timing for you, you want to learn a little bit more about what I'm talking about. You're like, what are you even talking about, bro? That sounds awesome, but I need a little bit more information. We'll actually have a group coaching program as well that I'll be doing, exclusive group training calls, similar on the topics of what I just talked about. And pretty much that's that, man. You're going to get access to that. You're going to get access to a little bit more details, specifics of exactly what to do step by step, exactly what to do step by step, of how to chip away at everything that's not David, so that you can become the light that you really are. Chip away everything that's not David, so that we can collectively create this new reality with the 100th monkey syndrome. And how are we going to chip away at the statue of David? Well, we're going to use the water pump story for that. We're going to realize it's just, you got to keep going. You just got to keep going. And what happens if something that appears negative? Well, you just use the man in China who had a son story. There was a man in China who had a son. Have you ever heard the story? There was a man in China who had a son. And all he wanted was his son to have a healthy, happy life. And then one day, his son was going on a horseback ride, and he fell off his horse, and he broke his leg. He took his son back into the village, and his friend looked at him and said, wow, your son just broke his leg. What a terrible thing. And he said, that might be a terrible thing, but actually, I think actually it's a good thing. I think actually it's a good thing. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I think actually this is a good thing. I feel good. And then the next day, the Chinese military came into town, and they were knocking on doors, recruiting for the military. They were grabbing every son that was 18 and older. And when they knocked on the man in China's house, and they knocked on his door, they were looking for his son, and they saw that, hey, his son actually had a broken leg, so he couldn't go to the military. And then at that moment, they realized that actually him breaking his leg was actually a good thing. So realize this, guys. What appears to be negative in your life right now, what's happening in your life right now, if it appears to be bad, realize that it's not actually bad. It's just something. It's like nothing's really good or bad, but thinking makes it so. But when something that appears negative happens, it's karma informing you that something is you need to work something out. That's what it is. This is like something appears into your reality for a reason. It's because you need to figure this out. You're like, okay, something just happened. Okay, something's in my field right now. What is that? Let me tap that out. Let me go within and find that out. But wow, that was the message for today. That was interesting. Wow, I don't even know what I just said. Like, that's great. Thank you guys. Have a great night.